We are broadcasting live here from the Freedom Lab. This is Jam at Peaceful Media. Jason Allen Miller. I've got my homeboy in Boise, Jimmy Ferris.
I'm in Lewiston, man. I'm in the L. I'm not in West.
Whoa. My bad. My bad.
Oh, man. Come on.
The L. Man, there's this little town in northern Idaho called Lewiston. And Jimmy probably has a statue up over there. It's where he went back to his roots to start his career as a congressman, as a potential congressman. So his career in politics was right there in Idaho. And I know that last night, dude, you were fired up watching the DNC.
I've been watching every night, wire to wire, been seeing all the speeches.
Yep.
I watched the Republican convention last week, so I was like, man, I got to make sure I get every single ounce of the DNC. And I'm pleased, man. It looks good so far.
Right. So this episode is all about going online wisely. So the last 4 episodes, we've done some smart strategic work on identifying and clarifying Jimmy's niche, and that's critical. Lots of people just skip that whole step and go, I just gotta have a website with my name on it, dude, and I'll put like stuff on it. They have no idea how they're carving their place out on the interwebs and in people's consciousness. And therefore they get no traction, there's no resonance, there's no money being made. And given that we only have 33 weeks to generate a 6-figure online business, we can't be wasting our time with a website or an online brand that doesn't connect to Jimmy's low-hanging fruit audience, which Jimmy, why don't you reiterate what we identified last week as your audience, and then we'll get right into some ways that you can monetize your online presence.
Well, what we really talked about was kind of honing in on this niche of, high school athletes, helping them become irresistible recruits for colleges. Adding that mental component, that psychological component that a lot of young athletes don't really have, right? We focus so much on the physical, on the skills and, working on the jump shot and the ball handling and all that type of stuff. But a lot of times kids at that age aren't really aware of the effects and or benefits of psychological performance training and how that can really impact not only their performance on the court, but their performance off the court in everyday life and in all those little things that make them, what we're calling irresistible recruits when it comes to college recruiters and, ultimately getting that college paid for. I mean, here's the deal. If you get a college scholarship, whether it be an academic scholarship or athletic scholarship, you're talking about, $100,000 to $150,000 come up, so to speak. I mean, it's $150,000 paycheck or a direct deposit handed to you. It's money you're not going to have to spend, so it's money saved. And so we kind of honed in on that as being something that we could start with, a good niche that we could jump right into.
Hell yeah, man. I get really excited whenever I hear you talk about it because there is a financial aspect to this tied to it versus the soft services of life coaching or just, success coaching in general. It's a very soft service. People don't necessarily tie that directly to a financial return. And obviously with your positioning and branding and marketing, you're not going to say, I'm guaranteeing you anything. But the fact is, if, like you just said, this can be a return of up to 150 or 150K or more if you're going to some of the bigger prestigious colleges.
Absolutely. And like you said, I mean, look, nothing that anybody does, particularly in psychological performance training or high performance training, whatever, is guaranteed, right? But the goal is always to put ourselves in a position where we can get the best outcome possible. It's no guarantee if you're 50 pounds overweight that, if you clean up your diet and you exercise 5 days a week, that you'll lose all 50 pounds, but you're damn sure, putting yourself in a much better position than if you did nothing. And so that's kind of the goal is, small steps, incremental steps. What if we get you to a point where, you get half of that paid for? I don't think anybody's going to turn down, a $75,000 return on a minimal investment, to go through the performance training.
Nice, man. So we also identified that you have two sort of audience segments within this niche, and those are.
What did we talk about?
The segments within this audience are on one side you got the parents, and on the other side you got the actual athletes.
Got you. So right. So obviously at this level, you know, the athletes, the kids aren't really going to be able to, in most cases, make the decision to, you know, purchase or buy the product themselves. You know, depending on where the price point is, that's going to be something that they're going to have to negotiate with their parents, or their parents are going to have to be all the way in, is basically what it comes down to. And, you know, my experience with the handful of younger athletes that I'm working with is that it's been the parents that have approached me about it. It's been the parents that have said, you know, my son, you know, is really dedicated, super hard worker, does all these things, you know, on the field or on the court. I would like to see if we can get, you know, him to the next level with, you know, some of your mental toughness training, some of the stuff you're doing. And so the kids are always interested, but it's usually the parents that ultimately, you know, want to really engage about getting it going and that make the purchase. Usually it's the parents' credit card that gets run. And so, like you said, you have to appeal. In this case, you have to appeal to both. The kids have to say, man, I want that. And then the parents have to see the value in it.
Yeah. And you can see right off the bat, you can see that there's a very distinct way you would message your offerings to an athlete versus a parent of an athlete.
Oh, there's no question. Yeah, no question.
You know, you're going to the athlete with a Facebook ad that says, hey, you know, get picked up by the biggest colleges in your sport for less investment than your, you know, weekly allowance, versus the parent who's like, you want, you know, your message is like, you want to avoid $150K college tuition bill. I got a plan for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's two totally different selling points. You're definitely emphasizing totally different. Kids are like, kids don't even know, you know, I mean, when you're focused on just getting a scholarship, you're not focused on how much college costs, because the goal is to get it paid for. So
no, we can speak to that from experience.
And you already know. Yeah,
we're just like, man, it feels good to be wanted by all these universities and colleges and stuff. Feels great. Who cares about that money piece? I just want to go play ball. So, okay. So today, you're going to also share a success principle. We'll save that to the end, because that kind of gives you the spirit of going into this next week, of actually putting your boots on the ground, Jimmy, and starting to implement and build the foundations for launching your website. Well, let's first talk about, because I sent you over a link this week to go and register for our course, Launch 31, which takes you step by step through the process of launching your site with a marketing system and backend integrated, right?
Yes.
And you had some questions about it, because I approached this in a unique way. I didn't just send you a link to go and purchase the course. I actually invited you to become an affiliate or a JV partner or a referral partner. There's 3 different words out there in the marketplace for this. I actually invited you to become that with Peaceful Media, so that if you enjoy the experience, you can go and share it and make money on those clicks. Not necessarily the clicks, but if those clicks generate a sale, you get a cut of that sale. So this, are you already familiar with this? Maybe there's some people watching this who don't know that that's even possible, or that that's out there, that you can make money just by sending a click over to a registration page. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with it. The only questions I had obviously was what exactly, how will that work for us? What will that look like? I just wanted to kind of drill down on it a little bit more. Not that it really matters, to be honest with you. I mean, if some of those details, I'm not really that, I don't have any questions about it, but I just kind of wanted to know a little bit deeper how it would go, so I could maximize it and utilize it. And then also, we talked about it kind of, off air, so to speak, last week a little bit about, in terms of keeping this thing under budget, when it comes to the website and some of my other, online stuff, whether I'm going to build it out myself? You know, I'm going through the Launch 31 program. You know, am I going to be sitting here building these web pages myself? And so again, just more, I kind of want to just drill down on that a little bit more and see
Sure.
what you thought about that. I mean, I can certainly do that. I've always just been one of those guys that's kind of been, you know, an advocate for letting the experts do what they do. And, you know, I don't, when my water heater goes out or my air conditioning unit goes out, I hire somebody to fix it. You know what I mean? I don't get a manual and try to fix it myself. But I do understand that, you know, when you're a new business, when you're a startup and you're trying to keep costs as low as possible, that it can be really beneficial to do some of that stuff on your own. So just, I don't know. I think we should kind of really flesh that out a little bit.
So if you're just joining the show for the first time, folks, Jimmy has an arbitrary constraint here with this Freedom Lab season 1. We've set his max budget at 10K. So while it would be really nice to just hire Peaceful Media or another agency to go out and build his entire online marketing machine, Jimmy has kind of agreed to you know, comply with that constraint, even though that's completely arbitrary for his business. He's generating plenty of money with his offline coaching business and corporate training gigs to go and afford working with, as you said, an expert in this game. So I appreciate you just like saying, okay, you know, for the spirit of people watching this show who are trying to rise up too, and they don't have a big budget, they don't have a huge, you know, offline business that's supporting their online endeavors. I appreciate you, Jimmy, for just like buying into this. You know,
Yeah. I like it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like I've always said, you know, if you're a business owner, I feel like you should at least know how to do everything in the business, right? I mean, at some point you got to clean toilets, mop floors, you know, work the cash register, the whole deal, right? I mean, I think that's one of the hallmarks of effective leaders is they've done all of the work. And so, you know, I mean, to be authentic in the field, I mean, I think it's a good thing for me to say, look, man, when I first got started in saying, I built my first website. Like I, you know, had a book out and went through it. And, you know, I think that could be important. That could be a powerful little piece of what we're putting together.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who built, you know, one of our clients, Brendan Burchard, built an entire business pillar around that spirit of a DIY revolution, of building an online brand and doing it with what you have. And, you know, that's Experts Academy. That's an entire multi-million-dollar pillar within his business. I don't think that's necessarily part of your pursuit right now. Maybe it is down the road where you're teaching. We have Freedom Lab live here in Portland, and you come out and you talk about your hustle and your game of going out and just taking on something that's not completely comfortable for you in terms of building web pages and all this stuff, but you did it and you worked through it. It was challenging. And at the end of the day, it was like way easier than you thought and way more fun than you thought it would be. And I think that message could be inspiring in certain venues, as you were saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've done that before. I did a lot of that on my congressional campaign. So trust me, I don't have any problem working and doing, you know, some of the busy work or some of the, you know, in this case, not busy work. I mean, this is the important work. But I don't have any problem getting my hands dirty and doing that at all. So.
And this is something we just, so for total transparency here, we recently launched Launch 31, the program, as a beta program. We did a beta launch. We have a fairly small list as we build up our own thought leadership platform here at Peaceful Media. And it converted really well. It was beta. We have 15 students who have been going through the course and giving me feedback so that we can make our official big launch with JV partners and referral partners, all that stuff, as successful as possible and as fulfilling. You know, like we really want to fulfill our promise of within X number of days, you have launched your online marketing system. So I needed to get that feedback from the market and make sure that this is actually doable. And so far, it's been a huge hit. But where was I going with that? but so anyways, it is successful. And so I want you to go through it with the spirit of giving me feedback as well. You'll be like the second wave of beta, so to speak.
Cool.
And I think that you're like a lot of the students in there right now. The best feedback I got so far, the best testimonial I've got was, I can't believe this. I'm actually having fun with technology, and I hate technology. I feel like technology hates me too. And I'm having so much fun with this. I feel like I'm a web designer. I feel like I'm a web coder. I feel like an online marketer. I feel like I actually get to get my stuff out there. And so that's can be the transformation possible for you, even if you don't like that stuff.
Sure. Yep.
Also, no, that's where I was going with this. One of the things I have to wrestle with, or not wrestle with, is negotiate with in my launch of Launch 31 is exactly what you're talking about, in that, look, that's not my game. I'm DIY on a lot of things, but building my own website is not one of them. I will hire that out, and that's my choice. You know, I have a little bit more budget. I can afford a 5K, 10K, 15K, whatever it is, 25K website. I'm going to go hire that out. Great. But the legends in this industry, particularly in online marketing, like Brendan Burchard, Jeff Walker, and Marie Forleo for that matter, they did it. They had their hands on the keyboard. They were pushing stuff around on the websites. And what that allows you to do, Jimmy, is to be hyper reactive, to not wait for anyone else. And that's that freedom lab. That's the freedom of running your online system. As long as it doesn't run you, running your online system, being able to post your own stuff, being able to go in there and tweak some messaging if someone gives you some feedback right there and then and there, right? For no cost.
Right.
It's your sweat equity going in. So, and this has been something that bogs a lot of people down, because they're always waiting for someone else to do that very important work. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's a great point, because I am very meticulous, very detail oriented. I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm the guy that's like, God, I just don't like that font, you know, and I can't get past the fact that I don't think the font represent, you know, I mean, that's me. And so I do love the idea of, you know, having the ability to go change things and make them exactly the way I like them to be. Or like you said, somebody says, man, we need to make this change. You know, it's not a phone call, which leads to a phone call. And then a day later, somebody gets around to making that change, you know?
Right. So here's what I want you to do, man. So let's go back to what an affiliate game is. I just want to explain this a little bit to the people who are just new to this stuff. Basically, you register with someone who has a course or product to be a referral partner. In our case, it's Peaceful University. You become a referral partner for any of our courses, all of our courses, and you get a unique link, which, Jimmy, I think you signed up as one of our affiliates, yeah?
I don't know that I've done it yet. I don't know that I officially did it yet, because
okay. So you want to sign up as an affiliate? I'll give you that link again.
Okay.
I'll share it in the Facebook group too, if you're interested in doing this. And what will happen is you're registering basically inside of our affiliate system, and you'll go in there and you'll see a bunch of links that are unique to you and are tracking your people who click through your unique link. When they land on that page and they go through a funnel, they go through a marketing, you know, they go through a bunch of value, for instance, or they just land on a sales page, you'll see a bunch of different links in there. You just land on a sales page and go, yeah, Jimmy recommended this. You know, he said it worked for him. I'm doing it too. I love it. They register, you're getting a cut. And so when we talk about creating a six-figure business, this is for many of our clients a multi-million-dollar significance portion of their online business revenue. And so I want to get you in this world now and start tracking the revenue you make, not only from your online sales of your own products, but also the affiliate commission checks that are going to come to you every month just by you sharing that you had a good experience with a certain product out there.
Gotcha. Yep. Makes all the sense in the world. Got it.
And the same thing happens in different flavor if you go and become sponsored. Let's say Nike, Reebok, Adidas, whatever, they want to sponsor you in what you're doing. And they give you a percentage of if anybody goes and buys at your events, whatever. I don't think Nike would be right, but anyways, pick your brand. If they're sponsoring you, you're going to get a certain fee for that. That too is, I don't really consider that online revenue, but that too is another revenue model for you to help build this out. So you totally get it?
Got it. Yep.
All right. So be looking around. The takeaway here is be looking around. If you see somebody who has a product that your audience would enjoy, then see if they go down to the bottom, look at their footer, see if they have an affiliate link or an affiliate sign up, and see if they have some terms that you like and you'd feel good about sharing that with your audience. Make sense?
Yep. Cool.
Okay. So in our spending report, I've actually added a new tab, Jimmy. It's just the income report. And I'll modify this for anyone who's inside of our Facebook group. Just search on Facebook right now for Freedom Lab Show, and you'll get inside the group. Ask to become a member, I guess you have to do. But anyways, inside of there's a tab called links, and you'll see in the links section we have a link out to Jimmy's spending report, which has all the recommendations for equipment, courses, programs, etc., education that I'm recommending to Jimmy within this 10K budget. So we're tracking the whole thing so that you can see where are the priority investments if you only have 10K to invest in a business building process. Okay, so there's also a second tab called the income report, and that's where we're going to show exactly where Jimmy is making money, and eventually we'll probably chart this out and see, okay, 40% of this came from freaking putting a link out to your list, to your social media, and sending people over to this great program that's supplemental to what I do and what I teach to my audience. And then another 60% is your online courses. So we'll be showing that whole thing, but the important thing is if you want to see how Jimmy is doing this exactly, go and get that link within our Facebook group, Freedom Lab Show. So Jimmy, so the important thing for you is as we start getting some online sales, I need you to get inside this report and help people understand where that came from, and we'll make this easy for you, okay?
Absolutely.
Cool. So the first thing I want you to do, Jimmy, is go to launch31.com and sign up for our Launch 31 waitlist. The reason why I want you to do this is because it's the entrance point to our marketing funnel for Launch 31. It's basically identifying for me and our team, this person is really interested in this program. They've heard Jason blabbing about it on Freedom Lab. They've heard Jason talking about it on Facebook Live, et cetera, or emails. It's my hot list, right? It's people that said, yes, please. The really important thing I want you to watch is the second day after you opt into the wait list, the priority registration list, you're going to be told a story. You're going to get an email from me that says, this is the spirit of Launch 31. Would you please tell us what would make this program perfect for you? And that's a link out to a survey. And that's the kind of stuff, Jimmy, I want you to be doing as quickly as possible.
Okay.
I want you to be collecting this data and basically identifying how we're going to position your course. So you're going to have an outline of a basic framework for your online Mental Toughness Academy, whatever we'll call it, right?
Yep.
It's 12 weeks with you, or it's 90 days with you. We can wrap it around a challenge, mental toughness challenge, but it's sort of open-ended a little bit. It's not like here is the program, but it gives people a taste enough that they can tell you what that's worth to them. So in our survey, it's a 5-question survey, and it's working really, really well for us because it has some quantitative and qualitative data collection. And people going through this program are probably tired of hearing this, but it is literally written our marketing. I copy and paste lines that people have shared in that survey and put it into my email promotions.
Got you.
I put it into my sales video, my offer video. So this just cuts down on a ton of failure of product launches because you are inside of your prospects' minds. And you're using the same language that's going on inside their minds. So while you're going to go through Launch 31, you're going to start building pages, but I'm actually going to guide you to I'm actually going to open up the entire course at once. Normally in Launch 31, each module gets dripped out to you per day in the spirit of not overwhelming you. I'm going to open that whole thing up to you, and I'm going to guide you to certain modules that I need you to do immediately. For instance, I want you to have jimmyferris.com up right now collecting survey.
Right.
At least telling people what you're all about right now. It could be a simple little 3-page site. Homepage, call to action says, please tell me what you want, but it has that nice big headline that says, this is who I'm helping and why, that kind of messaging. But the call to action isn't to do anything real fancy here. It's to tell you what they want and how they want it and why they want it and what they want. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So, once you see that survey, go ahead and start thinking about going over to surveymonkey.com and setting up a free similar survey. This is your homework, bud.
Okay.
You're going to go set up a similar SurveyMonkey for your audience. And I'll review that with you next week.
Okay.
Make sure that it's going to get you the answers that you need in order to market it. And then your other piece of homework is really just to dive in as quickly as possible into Launch 31. As a bonus to Launch 31, you're going to get the Resonant Brand Series, which is 6 of our experts talking about the 6 mediums that you have to master of online communication.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so you're going to be working with our expert marketing copywriter, for instance. You'll see how exactly she approaches every single page that a thought leader needs on their website and how we approach the high-level messaging and down in the weeds messaging as well. You'll also learn how to use email marketing effectively, how to write email copy correctly. You'll work through how to get the right photography with Brendan Burchard's photographer, Maggie Hudson, now Maggie Kirkland. You'll work with Travis Shields, who's Brendan's video producer, film producer. You'll work with our social media guru, Phyllis Kerr. You'll work with my man, Max, right behind me, right there. Content marketing strategy. So your podcast, your YouTube channel, your blogging, etc. And then you also work with our creative director, Ray, who's just brilliant at helping you identify which colors, typography, and photography will resonate with your audience. So all that said, man, you're going to have a ton of work to do this week. I hope you brought your big boy britches.
Yeah, I got them.
Okay. Now we talked about, maybe this is a good opportunity, man. I've been talking all this time. Maybe this is a good opportunity to talk about one of your mental toughness. Now, before the show, we identified be bold, but I don't know, man. What are you feeling? Maybe based on what you've heard so far, what is the mental toughness principle that seems more relevant?
Well, based on today, what you're saying is, I think pay the price.
Ooh, where's that one? Oh, yeah, boy,
Yeah.
that's good.
just because now you're telling me that there's a lot of work to do. And I'm kind of laughing and joking. You know, obviously I knew that. Knew that coming in. I mean, that's one thing. If you and I know anything about each other, it's that hard work has never been an issue for either one of us. So it's just kind of funny because I totally feel like I'm back in school, which I like. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting back in the business building listening to Dick Daly.
Okay, y'all, we have to break down roll call a little bit more. If you weren't on one of the previous episodes, then you totally missed our one of our highlights of business school up at the University of Montana was a professor named Dick Daly. I think it was Richard, but he went by Dick.
Yes.
Yeah, Richard Daly. And he was just a little bit, I mean, God bless him, man. He was just a little too removed from modern business education, adult learning theory. Like
he was past his prime. Let's just say that.
That's a nice way of putting it. So he would get up there, and here's his roll call. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. Jimmy, you can confirm this. Jimmy Ferris! Jimmy Ferris!
Here.
Jimmy Ferris!
Yeah, I said here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Jason Miller! Jason Miller!
Here. Here.
Jason
Yeah,
Miller!
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Through the entire class.
What did it take him, like, honest to God, like 20 to 25 minutes every single day to get through that?
This is how we started our university, like 300 level business class. Every day. Going through 50 students. 1 minute per student.
And I don't even think, honestly, I don't think roll call, I don't think attendance was even a part of the grade, was it? It was like, I don't know what he just wanted to know who was there, I guess. I don't know.
So you might have heard us saying like, oh, might want to know that. Putting our little fingers up like this, might want to know that. So one time, we just got to branch out a little bit, dude. Jimmy, tell this story.
So we were working on a group project. It was like the end of the semester project, like the culmination of kind of what the class was about. And I honest to goodness, it's been so long ago and a few concussions ago that I don't quite remember exactly what our project was or what we were even trying to do with the project. But us specifically, we were doing something in Portugal. We had a product or something we wanted to sell in Portugal. And he came through, he was going around to all the different groups and listening in on what they were talking about and offering advice is what he was calling. He was going to hear what we were talking about and then see if he could help us, tighten things up a little bit. And so he stands here.
He always had like a rolled up sheaf of paper too. It's like,
that was his role. That was his attendance.
Yeah, and he would tuck it like this, and then just walk around with it like this. And you come up to the group. Jimmy, are you still here?
Oh yeah.
You come up to the group and just start listening in, and we'd be kind of like, "What's up, boss?"
It was almost like he'd sit there and then you'd almost kind of lift your head up and say, like, "Can I help you with something? Like, do you need something? Like, why are you hovering over us, bothering us?" Because he never, like you said, bless his heart, but he rarely had anything of real substance to put in. And so, kind of on our deal, remember his big point to us, like his earth shattering, was, he says, he's standing there and he says, he's listening to what we say. And we kind of look at him like, what, and he's sitting there and he goes, all right, tell me this. How many cars are in Portugal? And we kind of, it was so unrelated, right? I mean, we were like, number of cars in Portugal, like, I don't know, we'll look it up. And he was like, might want to know that. And he just turned around and walked away. It was the most insignificant fact that it was like, literally, it was like presidential elections are right now, right? I mean, there's all these things you want to know about voters. So you gather all this information about voters that can help you drive a message or decide how they need to be contacted, whether they want to be contacted by phone or email, like all these things, right? What he asked us to do was the equivalent of saying, like, we've identified who our voters are, and then he says he wants to know, like, how many of them ride the train to work. It's just like,
I would say it was even less related. It was like, what flavor of ice cream do they know?
Yes, there's something totally like,
Yeah, I mean, if I knew how many people were driving on the train, I might be able to know I need to put some ad budget on some train advertising or something, but or target them on Facebook. But no, it was like, look at the flavor ice cream do they know? Might want to know that. And then he just pieced out, and we were just left going,
no other details or advice about why that would be important to know or how to implement that or anything. Just dipped.
We were just like, what just happened? We just got Dick Daly.
Now I will say this, he was an outlier because by and large, University of Montana Business School was amazing. So yeah. Definitely that's not any type of indictment on the Gallagher business building
right. The
employees.
The Carol Bruneaus, the Professor Carol Bruneaus of the world, that definitely tilted the scales in the other direction. We had a fantastic marketing class from her, consumer behavior, actually.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
It was the most useful. It was the most useful course of my entire university, my whole college career. So, all right. Well, speaking of consumer behavior, why don't we talk about? You want to talk about the mental toughness around pay the price? It has nothing to do with consumer behavior, but you might want to know that.
You might want to know it. Pay the price. I mean, really is kind of self-explanatory, right? I mean, look, anything that we are aspiring to do, the bigger it is, the larger the scale, the higher the price, man. I mean, I talk to kids all the time that say, hey, I want to get a full scholarship to a Pac-12 school or an SEC school. It's like, well, that's a big price tag, man. Like, you got to be willing to pay the price, do the work, do what's necessary to achieve that outcome. I mean, it's different, and obviously, no offense to anybody where they're at, but I mean, it's different if you're trying to go to a junior college versus the University of Alabama, right? That price tag is different. It's different in this space that we're in. If I just want to have, a handful of clients and, make a minimal impact and make, 50, 60 to $100,000 a year, or if you want to play on that level that, Brendan and Tony and some of these guys are playing on. I mean, that's a different price tag, right? You're going to have to pay a significant price to reach that higher level. And so that's part of, if you look in society in general, most of the failures that you see or the lack of success in, a given endeavor that you see in society has to do with people just not willing to pay the price to get it. Right. I mean, everybody's capable, man. I mean, this world is full of smart, capable people that are willing to, do what it takes to support their family and all these different things. But when it comes to going from here to here, when the pain gets a little bit greater, that price gets a little bit higher, are you willing to pay that price and do what's necessary to go that extra level or that extra mile, as they say? And really, that's what mental toughness is all about, right? I mean, this is talking about, can you get out of bed at 5:30 instead of 7? Can you get up that extra hour and a half early to get that workout in before you got to go to work, so that you're not going to the gym when you're tired after work and you get a shit workout in, right? I mean, it's all these little things. If you're working a job right now, you're trying to start another business on the side, are you willing to get up a little earlier and stay awake a little later to get those extra 3 or 4 hours in every day to work on that business, aside from going to work and collecting that paycheck at your job where you're at now. So pay the price. Are you willing to do what's necessary? I use diet and workout examples a lot just because they're so easy. It's so, black and white to people, right? Like you see input and output. Are you willing to, cut back on that dessert? Are you willing to, cook some food at home instead of eating out? Are you willing to, get 45 minutes on the treadmill or on the stair climber instead of none, or, 10 or 15 minutes? Like all these little things that differentiate good from great. Are you willing to pay that price to ascend from okay, mediocre, decent, good to great? And that's what mental toughness is all about.
Dude, it's so exciting to see someone so passionate about their message, man. And it gets me really excited because I can just, like, you could have just put that whole piece in a nice looking video, and that's a lesson in your course. So very, very exciting, man. I think you have a 33-day challenge. I think that's what your course is going to be. And you're taking people through all of this stuff each day with a little lesson. I'm going through a course right now. I teed you up with it. Dr. Carrie Rose, who's been behind who's been a course creation master for some of the biggest names in online marketing. And I'm going through her course right now to help me see if that's going to be what you need, but also to help me make Launch 31 a blockbuster program. So I will let you know if it's suited for you. And then that might land on one of your recommended courses over here on the Freedom Lab spending report.
I'm into it.
Nice, man. So speaking of quantifying and seeing tangible results, I'm going to reflect back to you a little bit on paying the price. We've had some homework over the last few weeks. We're on episode 5. I still don't have some of these done. So I'm gonna ask you, what are you going to get? What can you guarantee me is going to be done by next week?
What's the one you don't have done? You don't have the description, the short description of the 33. Okay. That's that's just a cut and paste. I mean, that's easy to do. I've got it in a Word document. And for some reason I've either no, I haven't sent it to you. Okay, so yeah, it's a cut and paste. I mean, that's easy to do. It's just of all the other thing, I guess because I know what those 1 and 2 sentence descriptions are. It's not that I haven't been willing to do it. I put it on lower on the list of importance.
Mm-hmm.
Of things that, of all the stuff we're trying to do, I put it kind of lower on the list of importance.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a huge priority. I mean, I'm not gonna hang on this. Your online business isn't gonna hang on it. I think it is more a simple little piece of homework that demonstrates that you're coachable.
I got you.
Not to call you out or anything.
No, not to, but I will, but not to.
But this is the thing, man. We have 33 weeks, so I don't want that. I don't want us to get up to week 32 and be behind because we didn't sign up for a course or we didn't get started on something. For Launch 31 is a 45-day experience. So, and that's if you're just putting in an hour a day. So,
right.
I don't, that all has to be timed and fit into our 33 week goal here. So that's the only reason I just want to see 100% task completion.
Sure.
Cool, yo. So my homework for you, for me, is I'm going to post a link to go sign up as an affiliate for Peaceful University. Use your own link to go and purchase Launch 31 so that you get a kickback. And that'll be one of your first pieces of income that will report on your spending and income report budget.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Awesome, man. Any questions for me as you go into this next week?
Good stuff.
Okay. What else? Can I just identify a couple of the things that you'll have done by next week?
So I'll get the summaries put in the 33. I'll get started on the Launch 31. And there was one more thing we talked about. Those two for sure.
Yeah. And I think the other one was just more of a general, like, be on the lookout for other brands in your market that you could potentially partner up with. And if you can start forming those relationships now, whether that's an offline conversation or just sign up for their referral partner program, then that's good. That's making some good inroads, because we're going to need those people to really build up this brand to the next level.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. Great episode, man. Go enjoy the L and all the love that surrounds you in Lewiston. And I will see you on the next episode 6 of the Freedom Lab.
Already 6. All right, bro. Good stuff. Love you, man.
All right. Love you too, man. Peace.